Oh my God! Doctor Who's a woman! Christopher, have you ever wanted to be able to track homeless people on your mobile phone?
No.
Yes, I have too.
No.
So the Danish artist Christian von Hornsloof drew criticism recently for his latest project, which is turning London homeless people into real-life Pokemon that can be tracked 24/7 via a special app on your phone. But you don't catch them, Chris.
Oh, good.
I know what you're thinking. You don't throw balls at them in the street. You don't catch them. You can buy them instead for $32,000.
That's so much better.
It's so much better. So far, there are 10 homeless people to choose from. Oh, which one to pick? Is there Freddie with the missing eye, or Jeffrey with one tooth and a drink problem? He describes his latest idea as ethical boundary smashing work that fuses homelessness, privacy invasion, inequality, and reality TV with present day cultural decadence and interactive conceptual art.
I'm surprised you didn't get that bit wrong.
I'm surprised I got that right. It sounds like a load of bollocks, but he said we already have buyers. Some are activists, some are business guys who get the ironic interplay.
The ironic interplay.
Yeah, you know, you're a tramp, I'm very well off, here's some money. Anyway, one guy apparently is so comfortable with it that he calls his guy a trampogotchi.
Trampogotchi.
Love it. Love those things. You have to
these people
feed
sleep
it
at night?
on a comfortable bed because they've got a lot of money that they just on their tramp.
On their tramp. Hold me up, tramp.
You just buy 10 of them. They can be your furniture. The homeless are so in tune with the project that he said, I've had to hold them back from making the project even darker. In one meeting, the homeless guy asked whether they could call it Tramp Tracker. They seem to get the mirroring of the crazy world we live in. The clever guys are not questioning it. They just get it, Chris. If you don't get it, you're not one of the clever guys. I get it.
Twist that.
I get it.
It's just emotional justification for buying and selling people and exploiting homeless people, isn't it?
I get it. Fuck them. Hornsloof will release a series of videos documenting the lives of the homeless people involved in the project. It is a spin on reality TV and will show they are more interesting than the Kardashians. The little-known Kardashians you may have heard of. The artist said homeless owners will be able to track them for a whole year. Why? Like what?
What are you going to do?
Oh, they're in Argos.
I'm on the toilet and I want to just fancy seeing where my trampogotchi is.
Oh, I've used someone's receipt to wipe my arse. Asked whether it's exploitation, Hornsloof said, of course it's exploitation. That's the way the world works. I exploit them and they equally exploit me. There is another word for it, Chris. What word is that?
Country?
Business. No, business. Business. Right. Christian von Hornsloof's previous endeavours include paying poor African villagers to change their name to Hornsloof in exchange for aid.
This is just exploitation, isn't it?
There's another word for that, Chris.
Country.
Business. I kind of get it as a thing.
Yeah, but it is exploitation.
But what else are these homeless people going to do?
That's why it's exploitation. That's what exploitation is.
Yes, but isn't it drawing attention to their problems? Yeah.
By exploiting them.
But not. I mean, if they get some of this money, it doesn't say whether they get any of their money.
Bum fights. Do anybody remember bum fights?
Oh, classics.
But paying homeless people to fight each other.
Yeah.
This is just a slightly nicer. And also, if you have to use the term...
There was Trevor McOnearm.
If you have to use the term breaking ethical boundaries...
only the brave do that.
Yeah, yeah.
The brave and the homeless. Only the smart guys get it. So, what can I say?
Sexploitation.
Sexploitation?
Well, it might be.
It might be.
You never know.
No, because isn't it? It's saying, look, there's a problem with homeless people, and
there's a problem with homelessness
and homeless people. It's a problem with homeless people.
I kind of get. Okay, so you're letting them. Like, how much money are they getting from this?
It doesn't say. They probably got a fiver. They probably chuck a sandwich into the group of them.
You're giving people an option. It's not like pitting two homeless people to fight.
No,
which is different.
Which is better.
Yeah,
it's more entertaining.
It's still exploitation, but give them an option.
Well, the option is you either do or you don't do it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm slightly better. But when you're using terms like breaking ethical boundaries, That's just code for I'm really exploiting people in a bad way.
Well, I suppose, but isn't it it's breaking ethical boundaries because people will go, you can't do that, and he's like, well, I'm breaking ethical boundaries by doing it.
Yeah, but usually when we're talking about breaking ethical boundaries, it's like murder,
waterboarding,
or burglary, or sort of GBH. They're ethical boundaries because ethically we shouldn't do those things. It's kind of lumping it in with all that, though, isn't it?
Is it?
It is.
So, Doctor Who has finally found her true form. I don't even know anymore. It's found their true form, and finally it's been cast as a woman, Jodie Whittaker. Yes. And everyone seems fine with it.
Yeah, it's just gone under the radar. To be honest, I've heard very little about it.
Everyone's going,
such lack of fuss.
So what? Well, we've got our resident Doctor Who fan.
Yeah, Whovian.
He's a massive fan. Let's see what he thinks of it.
Hi Tom. So why am I pissed off about Doctor Who being a woman? I've been a fan of Doctor Who since 1992 when I was 3 years old. It was a bullyable offence back then to like Doctor Who when you were 3 years old, 4, 5, 6 in the 90s. Even into the noughties really, it was a bullyable offence. Kind of went off the show during the Moffat era. I think he wrote it a bit too fancy. I think the show became a bit... The show went up its own arse, really. For the first 26 years of this show, the original run, Time Lords were Time Lords and Time Ladies were Time Ladies, and I feel like they have just messed too much with the mythology of the show now.
Timey-wimey thing.
Timey what? Timey-wimey?
I've no idea where he picks that stuff up.
This was done to please the PC Brigade. And what are they going to want next? They're going to want a black doctor. And then what are they going to want after that? A disabled doctor. So we'll have someone in a wheelchair. Then we'll have a blind doctor. Then we'll have a dwarf doctor. What's going to happen is the casting of the doctor each time is just going to be some sort of PC stunt and not, getting the best possible actor for the role.
Seems like...
Actually, not everybody...
Someone's not happy with Doctor Who. And then I did a little research online. Right. That's my research hands. Online. Did a little research online. It turns out there's quite a lot of people who are furious.
Were they? No, actually, I was going to say were they largely male, but I don't think they were.
That's unfair.
I read.
That's unfair, sexist. So apparently she can't. The Lord, the Time Lord. It's a Time Lord, not a Time Mistress. Can't be a woman apparently, because.
Well, what's so difficult for people who are fans of a programme, a science fiction programme about a man who travels through space?
Not a man, alien. With two hearts.
And whose face changes every few years.
Yeah,
why is it so out there to have it as a woman?
Because he always changes into a white male. And that is what we know and love.
But I don't get why. I must admit, like, when I heard the announcement, I thought that's cool. That's good. I like that they made that decision.
I was more pleased that the writer was changing.
Yeah,
I was more pleased on that.
Because I'd not watched it for a while.
Yeah, he lost me.
People always get funny when you reboot things or change things, but equally I don't get it because we live in the reboot age.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we've got to like it though.
Yeah, but you think people would be more okay with it? I couldn't give a shit. Even characters that are deeply personal to me and I have a vested interest in. If they decided they wanted to make a woman or a black man or a dwarf or a disabled person, who gives a shit?
Or a blind person?
It's written well.
Yes, but I do understand Stephen's point of saying, are they doing it purely for the PC crowd?
I wouldn't say purely, but it's always... I wouldn't even say it's for the PC crowd. I think it is a PR stunt, but that's how entertainment works. You make a splash, you make an impact, and in this context it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that she's a woman.
Well, that's the thing, is that he did write on Facebook, because he said, I don't know if you see my Facebook post, but he did write on Facebook that it ruins the continuity of the character.
How?
And it actually doesn't ruin the continuity of the character, because the Doctor can actually transform into whatever the fuck he wants to.
Yes.
Or, sorry, she wants to. But Stephen's point was, why out of 40 years of show have they never had a female doctor. He said if it would have happened in season 4, he would have been like, fine, it's a thing that happens.
Part of the canon and blah 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 blah.
So I understand why now people are more outraged, going, you're doing it as a publicity stunt.
But we all know why it's never been a woman before, because that was just not the culture of the time. Yeah. Women were never given those roles.
But I don't know why they wouldn't, because they would have had to pay. They could have paid them less. They would have saved so much money on budget. It makes sense to be a woman, as in it can be a woman.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't like the Ghostbusters reboot because they did it purposely to go, ha, women can do this too.
No one should have to encounter that kind of evil. Except you girls. I think you can handle it.
Oh, good.
I have to set one in like the suffragette era.
Oh, that'd be awesome. See, that's what it opens it up to.
Now all of a sudden she's like, I get this now.
Yeah. Before I didn't realise. I didn't care about women jumping in front of horses. Fuck them. I could vote. That could be quite interesting, actually. The fact that now with these stories, if she does go back into the past, I'd love it if there were things where a lady shouldn't be able to do that and stuff where people are saying
and then all of a sudden she's like, what, me? It's like music as well. Like artists always sort of evolve over time and their styles change. And you don't really want them just to stick to doing the one thing all the time. You might like it, what they end up producing, or you might not. It's a gamble, and it's the same with this. You need to change it to make it more interesting again. Also, sorry, that's what I want to talk about with Doctor Who and Lady Doctor Who is the next day, or like days after, the Mail Online, or the Mail on Sunday, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah.
And the Sun printed topless pictures of her.
Oh, wow.
But these were topless pictures that she had. These were topless stills from things she's done on TV. Is it right to do that? To go, oh look, first female doctor, here's her boobs.
Just to prove she's female. I think the Daily Mail were doing a very good job of saying she is actually female. We've done our research. We have seen her nipples. We've asked her for a VAD shot and we're waiting on it.
Because the argument is you shouldn't just boil her down to here's a sexual object again, which I get and I understand and I'm behind, but it's not like they stole those pictures.
No, it's not.
They were out there in the public domain already.
But they do it with also, like, I guess it's kind of not the same because it's a bloke, but with Daniel Craig they often show the picture of him coming out of the sea.
Yeah. I know.
Because he's got a lovely body.
And in that sense, when you take it in isolation, that is a bit sexist to go, well, it's fine to do it for that, and it's fine, but not fine to do it for women. But in the bigger picture, you're still trying to readdress a balance.
What is the article of, like, with the tits? Is it just here's her tits? That was the article.
No, I think it was in something else. But
Dr.
it was
Nips.
like, yeah, but they were making a big thing about the fact that they found topless images. She's
agreed to it, and
it's out there in the public domain. So is that right? Tell us.
What are your thoughts on Doctor Who being a lady now? What are they, Chris? We don't know. You haven't told us.
Are you offended by vaginas?
Are you furious? Do you agree with Stephen? Should things remain the same never change from the 1980s? Which is fine if that's what you agree, but give us your opinion down below. Please like and subscribe. We're trying this thing as a new thing. It's going to look rough and ready for a couple of times.
We get our shit together.
But we will get better at this, and it will change the way you live your life. Don't know where I was going. Maybe. Probably not. No. Probably not. Alright, bye, I guess.
Yeah, bye.
Do we wave? No, we don't wave. Don't wave, you look like an idiot.
Okay.
Don't leave me. Oh, people have lost their shit.
They have really lost their shit.
Stephen has lost his shit.
Completely.
Buyer/owner can follow them 24 hours, 7 days a week.
24 hours, 7 days a week.
We'll go back up. You ruined that. You can buy them for $32,000 and you can track them 24 hours 7 on a mobile phone. The bollocks bucket.
Just 24/7. You're adding in words.
I'll add in what I want, Chris. We'll get there. It's fine. His latest project turning London homeless people into real life Pokemon that can be tracked 24 hours a day.
Just 24/7. Just 24/7.
But it's 24 hours. Sign me up. Horn Sleuth.